Good morning, students. In continuation with our topic determination of equilibrium output or GDP, where in my previous session I have explained you that an equilibrium is struck under two conditions. The first one was AS equals to AD and second is S equals to I. Already we have done AS equals to AD. So today in this session we are going to talk about S equals to I. Well children, equilibrium output or equilibrium GDP is achieved when S equals to I, where S is saving and I is investment expenditure. Now to explain this, we have to see the behavior of S and I in relation to Y which is income. Now if you all can see, there is a table over here which has a 5 column. In the first column we have Y, that is income. Second we have S, that is saving. Third, we have delta S, that is change in saving. Fourth, we have delta Y, change in income, and I is an investment. Now over here, if you see, when your Y is 0, your saving is minus 20. Because when your Y is 0, then your saving goes in negative. Your income increases from 0 to 20 to 40, 60, 80, 100 and 120, where your saving is initially minus 20, then minus 10, then it comes to 0, then 10 increases to 20 to 30 and 40. That means as your income is increasing, your saving is also increasing, as we have already done in a previous session under saving function, that income and saving has a positive relationship. Your delta S, which is the change in saving, the difference is 10. So and delta Y is change in income, again you have a difference of 20, where I is constant, that is 10. This is because I have already told you that I is an autonomous investment, which means that it will remain constant no matter what the income is. So if you see this, I is constant at all level of income, and if you have to come out with the marginal propensity to save, that is MPS, which comes with the formula of delta S upon delta Y, we have already discussed in the previous session. So our delta S is 10 and our delta Y is 20, that comes to MPS is 0.5. Now if you have to prove it algebraically, you know very well, we have done in the saving function that algebraically how we can prove. We have a formula for that, and the formula goes like this, where we have to show the behavior of S, that is S equals to minus C bar plus 1 minus BY, where minus C bar is the minimum saving plus 1 minus B is MPC, and already we have done in the previous session when we were doing AS equals to AD, there we took out that MPC is 0.5. So 1 minus 0.5 comes to 0.5, and I have taken Y, that is I have taken 60, and if you see 60, then S equals to minus 20 plus 30 and your saving comes to 10, which proves that S equals to I. If you all see in the table, I have marked with a box S when Y is 60, which we have already proved in the previous session when AS equals to AD or Y equals to AD, that was it was 60. And over here when income is 60, your S is 10 and your I is also 10, which says S equals to I, which can be proved with the help of a diagram also. If you see on your screen, there is a diagram where I have taken on the x-axis Y, that is income, and on the y-axis I have taken S and I, saving and investment expenditure, and you all can see a line of S moving upwards from minus 20, and it is striking at point E, that is known as a point of equilibrium, where income is 60, investment is 10 and saving is also 10. So this is a point of equilibrium where S equals to I. Over here we say the equilibrium is struck at the point E, where S function and I function cross each other, and equilibrium is GDP, that is 60. Now children, the question comes, what if S is greater than I or if S is less than I? The situation might be there. So in case if S is greater than I, that means our aggregate expenditure in the economy would be less than what is needed to buy the planned output. Some output will remain unsold and producer will have an undesired stock. And to clear this stock, the producer would now plan a lesser output. So a lesser output would mean lesser income, and lesser income would mean lesser saving, and this process will continue till S equals to I. That means the equality between S and I is restored through change in the level of Y. Now similarly, if the condition is that S is less than I, then that condition aggregate expenditure in the economy would be greater than what is required to buy the planned output. Now in such a situation, there will be, let's say, higher AD than AS, and the producer would suffer the loss of unfulfilled demand. Now this will force or prompt the producer to plan higher output. So higher output would mean higher income, and higher income would mean higher saving, and this process will continue till S will be equals to I. Now here again the equality between S and I is again restored through change in the level of Y. So this is how the equilibrium is struck when S equals to I. Thank you.